Hello, and welcome to Verbling. Hi there, I'm teacher Oakley, and in today's class, we are going to continue looking at the IELTS speaking test. Our focus today will be on the Part 2 section of the speaking test. Now, in this section of the test, the interviewer in the IELTS exam, in the speaking test, you will be talking to an actual live person, the interlocutor. And the interlocutor will either hand you possibly a laminated piece of paper or some kind of document or something, which will have your question on it, which you can read and you can look at as you answer the question. He will also hand you pencil and paper, and you can make scratch notes before you answer the question. In Part 2 of the speaking test, you are actually allowed preparation time. 60 seconds, 1 minute to be specific. Okay, the interlocutor interviewer will give you the instructions, he'll give you the question, he'll give you the paper and pencil. You have 1 minute. After 1 minute goes by, he will say, please begin, and you will answer the question. He will tell you in his instructions, please speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Translation, in reality, speak for 2 minutes, because you will lose points if you only speak for 1 minute. Guaranteed. So in Part 2, the basic strategy is very simple. Keep speaking until he stops you, he or she stops you. After that, there may be a short follow-up question. There used to always be, but I'm not so sure about that anymore. Just the follow-up question is nothing to concern yourself with. It's usually just ending the conversations, so you don't really have to give a full response. It's usually something very simple. Oh, would you like to travel there again? Oh, yes, I would very much enjoy traveling there again. It's nothing, really, to worry about. You just have to focus on Part 2. In today's class, students will practice, and I'll try to give you some feedback. Now, in interest of saving time and making sure everybody gets a question, this question takes more time because you're speaking for like 2 minutes. I will try to afford you a little preparation time, but I've got to kind of keep things moving so everyone gets a chance to answer. So I may push that preparation time a little. My apologies now. But okay. As far as taking notes, my advice, definitely take notes. Actually, I'd like to speak about that a little bit before we start the practice. Let me start welcoming students to the class here to get going. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, hello. I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
Okay, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Nice, good.
Nice. Yeah, it is nice. Welcome back, Carolina. Hello again. Howdy, howdy.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. Welcome back. Hello to Natasha. Hi, Natasha.
Hello. Hello. Good to see you.
Likewise. Glad you could join us. And I'd like to welcome Vera. Hi, Vera. Hello, Vera. How are you? Hello, hello. Maybe she's busy. Okay. Before we start actual practicing here, just a quick note about making notes in the exam. Your notes are not scored, they're not looked at. Just as in the reading section of the test, you have a workbook and an answer sheet. Listening, same thing, you have a workbook and answer sheet. You can do whatever you want to that workbook. in reading and listening. You can do whatever you want on your notes in the speaking exam. It doesn't matter. It's not scored. Nobody will look at it. In fact, it's shredded. They actually shred these documents, so nobody will ever see them except you. So do whatever you want. You can even write notes in your native language if you want to. Again, they're not scored, but I wouldn't suggest it. I don't recommend it. What I might recommend is this. You can try this, and you have to make your own system of notes. That's very individual and individual specific. So practice it. But what I might recommend, one possible strategy, you look at the question. Now, some of these questions in part 2 will be past tense. Some will be present. Some may have future tense elements to them. I might suggest that in your notes you actually write down in maybe capital letters at the top of the page, write down the tenses that are used in the question. Because IELTS is asking you questions not really because they care about your content, but because they want to hear how you speak English and grammatical constructions. When they ask questions and they change tense in question 2, that's because they want you to show that you can use those verb tenses and change tenses in the middle of a monologue. There's a reason for that. They're asking you to do that. So if I'm taking the test, I'm going to write past simple / cont, continuous. Maybe there's a perfect. I write PERF at the top, maybe dashes, stars, whatever. And so you see that when you glance down at your notes, to constantly remind yourself every time you look down what verb tenses you need to be using in order to fulfill basically the requirements of the exam. Also, anything else, like if there's a modal, would you do something, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, they want me to use would. I might write that down in my notes. Otherwise, your notes, other than that, you don't have time to write whole sentences. You don't. It's pointless. You only have 60 seconds. So take 10 to 15 seconds to write down the verb tenses. Then look at, most importantly, the first question. What part 2 will be is the question, the essential or main question, and then bullet points, which are subtopics, which they'd like you to talk about. Look at that main question and figure out subject, noun, verb, object, noun, if any, and just brainstorm really quickly vocabulary synonyms or synonym phrases. I always recommend if you're brainstorming vocabulary, don't just brainstorm one word, brainstorm collocations. Okay? So instead of just writing argument, write terrible argument, so that you remember to use these collocated things like adjectives and nouns, adverbs and adjectives, and so forth, because that's what they're looking for. Okay, so much for taking notes. All right, let me, what's going on here? Okay, it appears that Vera's having some connection problems. I don't know. Okay, let me also welcome a couple new students to the class, and then we'll get started practicing. Hello, Salwa. Are you back? I know you had to leave for a minute. No? Okay, we'll say hello to her later. Okay. Hello, Talas. How are you?
Hello, Oakley. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. I ate lunch. Feel much better. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Just to know, what's the time right there, over there?
I'm an American, but I currently live in the Philippines. It is now a little past 2 in the afternoon, 2 p.m.
Oh, okay. Over here, it's 12 hours difference. I'm at Orlando.
Orlando, Florida?
Yes, in Florida.
What do? Do you work at Disneyland?
No, no, I am here for a vacation. Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right. Wow,
my
good place.
vacation.
Good place to go on vacation. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's cool. I've been to Orlando. Anyway, okay, let's get to work. All right, I'm going to be using, by the way, the Verbling chat box. I kind of have to as a Verbling teacher. So I'm going to write the question in the Verbling chat box, and I'll take turns going around the class and asking you to answer the question. Again, since time is a factor, normally you're going to have 1 minute preparation time. If you can, try to cut that down. I'll try to procrastinate and waste time to give you a little time to think about it, but that means you're going to have to ignore me while I'm talking. I'll try to give you a few seconds, but if I give everybody a minute, that's, 5 extra minutes of class time we just don't have, or we don't want to spend, either way. Okay, so I'm going to start with Rebecca. You were the first one in the class, so you get the honors. Okay, and here is your
Thank you
question.
so much for the honor.
The honors, yes, the honors.
The honors, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, here's your question. Describe, okay, part 2, by the way.
Well, but one question before the starting. What
Go
do
ahead.
I have to do? Writing or speaking?
Speaking. This is
Okay.
IELTS speaking this week.
Okay.
Okay.
For how long?
2 minutes.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Wow. Wow, I'm nervous.
You're nervous? Well, don't be nervous.
Yes. No.
Okay, now, okay, your question is describe a beautiful place to visit in your country. You should say where it is, how to get there, what there is to do when you are there, and why you recommend this place. This is a typical IELTS question. They'll ask you to describe something. Very often it's an experience, a time when you were really scared, a time you experienced extreme weather, something of that nature. That's quite often a very boring meeting you went to, when you met someone unexpectedly, things like that. Could be a situation, could be a person you admire, an older person you admire, and an experience you had with a small child. Could be a place, as in this example here with Rebecca, a place. Sometimes it's an object. Those tend to be the difficult ones. Something like describe your favorite toy as a child. Describe an object that you use every day. Something like that. Okay, so those are kind of the categories, but that's it. Part 2 question is description. And they will give you bullet points, who, what, where, when, why, the interrogatives, to help you to describe. In fact, even in part 1 where you have description questions, to brainstorm, always think about why, but also if you have trouble having problems figuring out what to say or how to give a good example, brainstorm the who, what, why, where, when, how. Answering those questions, speaking, can give you more to say, more detail to provide, etc. Okay, Rebecca, I'm going to quickly welcome a couple students to the class. Salwa is back with us now, I see. Hi, Salwa.
Hi, colleague.
Hello. Also, Mustafa has joined us. Hi, Mustafa.
Hello, teacher. Good to see you today. Thank you.
Likewise. And David is also with us. Hi, David. Good to see you again.
Hello. How are you?
Good. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Okay, Rebecca.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to describe my region in Spain. My region is called Galicia. It's located in the northwest of my country. It's a beautiful place. to visit. But if someone is thinking to come, it's better to come in summer because the weather is much better. I'm not saying it's bad in winter, but maybe if someone is coming in winter, the days can be very wet. So it's better always in summer. My region is a beautiful place surrounded by mountains, and on the other hand has beautiful beaches. So it's a contrast place with beautiful nature. Also, people can eat very good seafood and drink an amazing white wine, which our region produces. Actually, that is one of the things that people are coming from all over the Spain because they know here they can eat very good dishes. So it's a combination, of beautiful nature, beautiful places, and good food and good drink. Our beaches are famous for being wild and beautiful, and they people can do can surfing.
Okay.
And okay, stop.
Okay, stop, breathe. Just breathe. Uh,
Yes, please.
okay. Hey, Rebecca, what are you, a travel agent? You're pretty good. I
No,
want to
thank you,
go.
but it's true. Everything I said is true. So,
Wow, sounds great.
Yeah, do you want to
Sounds like,
come?
yeah, I would actually. It sounds terrific.
Okay,
You're pretty
waiting
good
for
at
you.
this.
Yes.
And I think you have a
True.
career in the travel
Yeah,
industry. I really do. That was really
thank
not bad.
you.
Okay, looking at it from a travel agent's perspective, that was terrific. Um, yes, it does seem great. I agree. Okay, looking at it from an IELTS perspective. Okay, let me try to analyze this. I'm going to try to go fast because I want to give everyone a chance. All right. Describe a place to visit, present tense, where it is, present tense, how to get there, present tense, what to do when you are there, present tense. This whole question is all present tense. Rebecca used simple present. She also used is coming, are going. She used continuous tenses in various forms. Check, check. That's great. That's really all you need to do. You possibly could use a modal or even a future modal by saying, I would recommend this to people. So other than that small miss at an opportunity, I did a good job covering the necessary verb tenses. Did a good job organizing her speech with transitionals. First of all, heard a great contrasting point with on the other hand. This is good, this is good. I did hear some modal use. You can eat, and people can do this or could do that. She used another feature of listing. Now, listing. Okay, now this is an interesting point. In the IELTS test, they would love you to hear you make a list, but make sure your answers are not just a list. It's important, this is one feature that you should show somewhere in the test. And you can do it by listing an example. But, okay, you have to do listing at least one point because they want to hear listing intonation. Up, 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 down. You can drink wonderful wine, you can climb the mountains, and you can go surfing. You go up, you go up, you go down. It's a pronunciation feature they would love to hear you use. But don't overdo it. Doing it really once in the entire test is enough. So all of those features were terrific. Okay? You did what you were supposed to do. Nice.
Okay, thank you. Good.
Okay. Another lovely feature. I'm not saying blah, blah, blah to clarify a point. Yes, okay. It's terrific in the IELTS exam to clarify a point by saying what I mean by that is, or I'm not saying this. What that means exactly is that if you want to clarify a point in the IELTS exam, by all means, that's just adding to your score. That was also an excellent feature. One thing I didn't like, please, mountains, not mountains. First syllable stress, mountains. There's beautiful mountains. Mountains. The second syllable is unstressed. Mountains.
Yeah, it's very difficult, that word. Mountain.
I
2
know.
syllables.
And I just hear it all the time. Spanish, Portuguese, and Tagalog speakers here in the Philippines. You guys all say mountains. But
So
yeah.
it's mountains. 2
Mountains.
syllables.
Mountains. 2 syllables. First syllable stress. Yeah.
Mountains. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Small mistake in wording. It is a contrast place. It is a place of contrasts would be really the correct way to say that, the best way. You could say it is a contrasting place, but it is a place of contrast. Sounds really nice, which would be a lovely phrase. It is basically a colloquial expression, but it's unusual, so it would be a high score. Again, I remind you, if you're trying idioms, colloquial expressions, chunks of language that native speakers speak, this is all good in IELTS. And if you try it and you don't say it quite right, if you don't do it, that's level 5. If you do it and you totally mess it up, that's level 6. If you do it and you get 1 wrong out of 4 or 5, then that's level 7. Like that. They reward you for trying. So you got one little colloquial expression not quite right. Another, again, chunks of words. You go surfing, not do surfing. But that's it. Those are the 3 small things wrong, like 5 or 6 good things right. That was actually very good. That would earn you, I think, at least a 7.5. That was quite good, at least, possibly an 8. That's quite a good answer, actually.
Thank you.
Give that an 8. All right. I do have to say that was a fairly easy question because it's all present tense, and it's obviously a familiar topic.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little bit of an easy question, but you did do an excellent job. Thank you, Rebecca, for that excellent example. Good job. Nice. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay. Let's see here. All right, who's next? Carolina. You lucky. Carolina, are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, here you go. You're going to just try describing a person in your family who you admire. If you would not, by the way, usually when they ask you to talk about your family, or they used to, I'm not sure if they do this anymore, they might say, is it okay if you talk about your family? Because some people don't want to. So Carolina, is it okay? If you don't want to talk about your family, you can talk about any other person on earth that you admire.
It's okay.
Okay. Explain what their relationship is to you, what they have done in their life, what they do now, and why you admire them so much. Notice in this question, firstly, it's person. Secondly, notice the form of the question you most admire. They would like you to use a superlative adjective structure. Hint, hint. You should say what their relationship is to you, present tense. What they have done. Ooh, look, perfect tense they want you to use. They're telling you what they need from you in the question. You just have to interpret the question that way. Okay. and why you admire them so much. Another point about part 2 question. Usually the last bullet point, something I've noticed, nobody ever taught me this, I figured it out. The last bullet point is always some kind of abstract idea, recommend, admire, how you feel about something. It's always something with which would require much more abstract language, nouns, and adjectives. I think there's a reason they do that. They want to see if you can get to the end and then use more sophisticated, higher level, abstract construction and language. So, that being said, one of your strategies might be to make sure you get to that last bullet point, because that's a score maker right there. Okay.
Teacher.
When
I
you're
will
ready.
try.
Great.
I will try. Okay. I'd like to describe to you my father. He is really important in my life. I most admire him because he always is understanding with me and my sister. My relationship with him is pretty good. I try to call him every 2 days because he lives alone. However, he lives in Cali, which is another city of Colombia. It's approximately 1 hour from here, so I have to be in contact with him by Skype or by phone. Um, he he has been in his life an accountant. Now he is retired, maybe 5 years ago. I can't remember the day exactly. So I can say that now he works as freelancer. Sometimes he helps us and his friends to do sometime taxes requirement for the government. So he is still active in his life. He likes to do that kind of things. I admire so much him because he taught me how to be responsible and grateful for everything that I have and for everyone in my life. So my father is very supportive and understanding with my sister and me.
Okay. Thank you very much.
How much?
Okay.
How much
What?
was my time? 2 minutes or less or more?
Yeah, actually slightly over 2 minutes.
Okay, it's
I
good.
gave you the last about supportive and all that. I gave you that. And they'll likely do that as well. Okay. All right, congratulations. He has been. All right, you got your perfect tense in there. I know you were thinking about doing that. It was obvious. But you did it.
Yes.
I know you were trying to do it. You're trying to get in. Okay, okay, you plenty of the present tense and present tense forms. You got in your perfect tense. You managed to fit in at the end some very nice abstract adjectives: supportive, responsible, grateful. Great, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. That all adds up. That's great. Sometimes you're now this is an odd thing. You're using a nice mix of simple and compound and complex sentences. I like your style of mixing them, and it's very good, but sometimes the word order is not quite right. As an example, he has been in his life I don't even remember what you said. I'm listening to your English, not your content. Whatever. What was your father before?
An accountant.
Accountant. Thank you. Sorry. He has been in his life an accountant. Well, really, it should be he has been an accountant most of his life, or
Okay.
or something like that. We usually, sometimes you put the prepositional phrases in the middle of the sentence, and normal construction is we leave prepositional phrases, especially of time and place, for the back of the sentence. So sometimes that is slightly awkward construction. All right. But the fact is that technically speaking, that's not grammatically wrong. It's just not the way native speakers speak. So strangely, this would not affect your grammar score at all. This would instead affect your delivery or fluency score, because it makes it hard for me to understand because I have to back up and reword the sentence for understanding because I'm a native speaker, because that's not normal. Okay?
Okay.
So,
Teacher, I understand.
all right. I can't remember exactly, and you sped up the way we normally do. And, you know, I can't remember exactly when he finished working. Very natural. That's great. That's actually very good stuff. Missed an article. He's working as freelancer. Should be he's working as a freelancer. But articles are something. It's not a big deal on the scoring. You know, if you things like articles and prepositions. If you're making an article mistake on every single question, it's going to cost you points. But if you, in one question, in a 2-minute answer, you have one article, they ignore it. It doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Okay. And he likes to do that kind of things, plural. He likes to do those kinds of things.
Yes, I know, teacher. But
I know.
when I am speaking, I always thinking about the idea and not grammar.
Right. And that's okay.
Mm.
What I really like what she did, what Carolina did there, she really took it to heart to get those fundamental points: present tense, present perfect tense, present tense, use some kind of a superlative. You did all that, so you're doing what they need you to do. If you can do that, you're going to get a minimum 7 for that question. You will. You just will. You're doing what they need you to do. Okay?
Okay, teacher,
A few
thank you.
small mistakes, but again, another great job. Very good. Okay, I got to keep it rolling here. Okay, Natasha, guess what? You're up.
Yeah, yes, I'm ready.
Are you? Are you sure? Okay. Natasha, do you like to shop? Because your question is about shopping.
Oh, I don't like shop.
Oh, shoot.
Doesn't matter. I have
Yeah.
to be creative.
Yeah, and then that's going to happen to you. You're going to get topics that it's not your favorite thing or nothing you're interested in. Okay, so again, a place, the type of place, your favorite shop, where it is, what things it sells, what sort of people are its customers. Explain why you like the shop so much. So again, you've got only present tenses here to really worry about. Okay?
Okay.
If you can use other tenses, that means your score is going to go up. I mean, if you use just the tenses they're recommending or they're asking you for, then that's very kind of neutral. So always, try to tell more. How can you tell more? Very simple. Tell a story. Oh, for example, I went to my shop, my favorite shop last week, and they had some great new items in the store. They had purchased some new inventory which was not there before I went, since I went there the last time. Oh, great, present perfect. Past tenses, present perfect tenses. telling little stories as an example is a great way to expand grammar, types of sentences, and verb tenses. Okay, anyway?
Okay. Yes, I would like to tell about my favorite shop. It is the Underground City. My shop has this call. Why I like it very much? Maybe because, first of all, it's really very beautiful and interesting places. Because there I can see a lot of brands, different clothes, different shoes, and they even other maybe not sort significant for me things, but it's interesting to look at people as well, because there as a rule, a lot of different people, old person, young woman, beautiful girls, and even children. Especially, I like look at children because they're so kind and interesting. They like to run there. Or they want. As a rule, look at all what are around them. So. As a rule, I prefer to be there once a week because it gives me the opportunity to be up to date with modern style in our city as well. Also, it's sometimes very useful because when I there, I can find something really very interesting and neat for me. And after that, I have a lot of a lot of funny conversation with my friends because I could tell them about my experience, about those things and new brands where I can see the and also we can describe our preferences in this deal. So I suppose that it's really a woman's style of life because we have to be stylish lady and know a lot of especially modern things in our world.
Okay. You're overtime there, but okay. That's all right. That's fine. They're going to let you, depending on the interviewer. The interviewer might just interrupt you in the middle of the sentence. Okay, that's it. Or they may let you complete the sentence. Okay, all right. A little listing. You certainly got present tenses covered. Okay, sometimes, Natasha, you leave out words. You drop words that should not be dropped.
Okay.
I would like to tell about whatever, my favorite shop. I would like to tell you about my favorite shop. You can say, I would like to talk about my favorite shop. That's fine. But if you're telling, you need somebody to tell. So you need an object noun. I would like to tell you about. You need an object noun. So small grammar mistake. Okay, you did some nice listing and correct intonation. I like your intonation. It's very good. Her highs are very high, and she's using fluctuation in her pitch, high pitch, low pitch. You cannot talk like this, or you will not get a very good score. If you want to get a 5 or less, then you should talk like this. Can't be a robot. So that was good. All right, to your benefit. Okay. Now, interestingly, all right, Natasha tried to use a rhetorical question. Well, this is interesting. Much like listing, it would be great if you could do this during the course of the interview once, but don't overdo it. A rhetorical question is when you ask a question you don't want an answer to, but you use it to set up your next, to introduce your next piece of information. I think you said, why I like it very much. You have to make it a real question. Why do?
Yeah.
Why do I like it very much? And you have to use the proper intonation, which you did. Your intonation was correct. Why do I like it very much? Or you could say, why do I like it very much, you might ask. Would be even better.
Mhm.
Well, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. That's okay to do, but really, maybe once in the whole exam, maybe twice, but don't overdo it. Same thing in the writing, by the way. If you're going to, absolutely do not do it in part 1 of the writing test. In part 2, the opinion piece, I personally wouldn't make a rhetorical question at all. It's risky. IELTS doesn't particularly care for it. I would not do it. But if you're going to do it once, and then that's it.
I see.
Okay, sometimes, okay, even are there some decorations and blah, even there are, or actually, sorry, there are even, just word order. There are
Okay.
even some, I forgot what there are even some, children, decorations.
I forgot too.
All what are around them. Make sure that you never use what as what's that? He is the man. The man who has bald hair is standing in the corner. The children are interested in all what are around them. It should be the children are interested in all that is around them,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
all
I
which is around them. Okay,
Mhm.
you're using the what as a what kind of pronoun?
Yeah. I see, but I missed them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use what like that. Which or that, where, when. Okay, it give me the opportunity. Be careful about. Again, this is another mistake like articles, subject-verb agreement, or conjugating your verbs. It gives. Right.
Oh yes, it's my common mistake.
Okay, it gives me the opportunity. Now, nice phrase, colloquial phrase. It gives me the opportunity to blah, blah, blah. That's why I like it. That's very useful. It's a good one. It's good. It's a good, useful phrase for IELTS. But make sure you get it right, of course. When I there, okay? You're hurrying along. You just forgot the verb to be. When I am there.
Yeah.
And funny conversations, I think you meant fun conversations. Difference between fun and funny in English. Funny, or, okay, it's funny. Fun means entertaining, amusing, makes you happy. It's fun. Okay. Different thing. Okay. All right. Covered the basics, but multiple small mistakes. Probably, around a 6 there. Maybe 6.5, but just so you know. Okay. Wow, we really got to move it. Vera, are you there? Or are you here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Hang on a sec. All
I'm
right.
a bit nervous.
Oh, yeah, you'll be fine. You're good. Don't be nervous. Okay, here's your question. All right, now here we go. Describe a situation or occasion. So here you go. Describe a special occasion when you had a really enjoyable meal. Okay, what the occasion was, who was there, what you ate, why the meal was so enjoyable.
Okay, can I have just a moment to think about the answer?
Sure, you can take a minute. Well,
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm ready.
okay.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd rather be spontaneous. Okay.
All right.
One sunny day, not so long ago, me and my friends, we decided to meet together and to hang out, and because we haven't seen each other for a long time, so we decided to book to book a place in a restaurant and to have a great time there. And actually, it was birthday of one of my friends, and we decided to celebrate it as well. And there were about 6 or 7 people. We were laughing and enjoying ourselves. Um, and we ordered very delicious food. It was an Italian restaurant, so we ordered different salads, like Caesar and different vegetable salads. So I can't remember what was it exactly. But I ate Caesar salad. It's a mix of vegetables and tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and fried chicken. It was really delicious and nutritious. I enjoyed it, and but I believe when you taste something, being with people, talking to them, so food isn't very important in this case. The most important is that you have the common sense. The the evening is very warm and humorous, so you spend time with your friends, and that's why it was very enjoyable for me. Not the food exactly, but the atmosphere in this restaurant. And yes, thank you.
Oh, you've got 2 more seconds.
Okay. Yes, I can say that in addition, the staff was friendly.
No. I'm joking. If you're done and there's 5 seconds, 2 seconds left, who cares? There's no penalty for that. Okay.
I didn't think that I was too nervous. Don't know what happened to me.
Okay, you're fine. Interesting approach, I have to say. Okay. I do like the approach. Okay, and part 2 question lends itself to telling a story, especially when they're asking about an occasion or a situation. Then you should just tell a story. I mean, that's what they want you to do. And actually, that's a great way to describe. So, okay, you told a story. And you started the story the way you start a story. One sunny day, not too long ago. It was a dark and stormy night. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And for this type of question about a situation, I like that. I don't hear that very often. Playing it much safer to introduce what you're going to talk about, how everybody else kind of did it. I would like to tell you about blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you an advantage to doing that is you can kind of memorize what you're going to say. And you can really slip in some useful points. I'll give you an example. I would like to tell you about the most enjoyable, superlative, meal that I have ever had. Present perfect tense with an adverb ever. I would like to tell you about. I'm using a modal to introduce. I'm checking about 5 different boxes for the IELTS scorer. Okay, and I know that's what I'm going to say. Okay, looking at the past questions, I would like to tell you about the best shop I have ever been to. Okay, I would like to tell you about the family member I most admire and have always looked up to for my entire life. Okay, I would like to tell you about the most beautiful place I have ever been. I can do this exact structure with any question 2 that you can give me. And every time I can unload my perfect tense I need to have, I can unload my superlative adjective structure, I can unload a modal. Check, 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 check. And I know I'm going to do this before I ever take the exam. So it's a sure thing. So I don't have to risk, ooh, what am I going to say? I know what I'm going to say, the first sentence. I'm not nervous at all about it. It also helps calm me down. I did like the structure in this case, though, because she told a little story, and it was a lovely little story. I liked actually. I liked some of the words, humorous. What was really good was when the atmosphere of the restaurant. All right, a little late, but better late than never. Service, topic-related words that are obviously related to having a meal in a restaurant. Okay. Reservations, book. Oh, she said book. By the way, you said book a place. Yeah, it'd be okay, but the normal phrase is book a table. So we booked a table at a restaurant. Okay, these kinds of very much topic-related words are definitely going to help. Okay, I couldn't remember what was it. I don't know, you're talking about the food. Should be I can't remember or I couldn't remember what it was.
Okay.
Okay. The most important.
Maybe I can say what was it? Just maybe I'm asking myself, what was it? You know, just talking to myself.
Maybe, but that's
Okay.
again, that's like a rhetorical question.
Yes.
Maybe you could do that. All right. Here's a very common mistake English speakers use, all the learners make all the time. The most important is. We never say that in English. The most important thing is how we say it. The most important thing is blah, 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 so on, so on. Okay? All right, so that's the structure
Great.
there.
Thank you.
The most important thing is, okay. Oh my God, I'm going to need to apologize already. I'm never going to get to everybody. Sawa, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Here's your question. Okay, Sawa, I want you to describe a memorable journey you have made. Where, you should say where you were going. Notice past continuous. How you were traveling, why you were making the journey. Explain what made the journey so memorable. Notice the beginning. Describe a memorable journey you have made. This question is asking you specifically to use present perfect tense, to use past continuous. Okay. Whenever you're ready. Salwa? You still there? Okay.
I have made a journey to Sharm el-Sheikh. It's a good place here in Egypt. It's near the north. I went there with my friends in a journey by bus. We traveled for about 13 hours, 13 hours. And when we get there, the beautiful nature was really amazing. I really loved the place, and the weather there, it was warm. There was a huge amount of mountains, and we hiked one of them. We hiked for 6 hours. During this, we go up and to start talking with each other. It was so enjoyable. We made this journey just for fun. We need to change our mood, get out of routine of our life. After that, when we arrived at the top of the mountain, we stayed all the night there, seeing stars and the moon. After that, at the morning, we start hiking down the mountain, returning to one of the religious places there, and we start watching the religion activities. After that, we have our breakfast and start returning back to the Cairo again. It was so enjoyable journey.
Okay. 2 minutes right there. Okay. All right, Sawa. Main problem, you kept shifting your verb tense, present, past, present, past, present, past. I didn't know if I was coming or going, coming or going, coming or going. Okay, it's a story. It's a story that happened in the past, so everything has to be in the past. All right? Okay, we go there instead of we went there. When we get there, when we got there. All right? You got to make sure you stay in the past tense. You also didn't manage to give me a past continuous tense, which the question is specifically asking you to do. You did get the present perfect in your first sentence, which is a good idea. Get it done. Get that box checked. Okay, but you didn't manage to do a continuous tense. We were traveling for 13 hours. You could have. Instead of saying we traveled for 13 hours, just we were traveling for 13 hours. This is where it really helps in your notes to write continuous in your notes. So when you look down as you're speaking, you remember to do that. That was the big problem. Okay. Also, in the morning, not at the morning. We use in for long periods of time. In July, in 1992, in the 1800s, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon. Okay. We started watching, again, same thing over and over. Kept using present tense when you needed past tense. We needed to change our mood. One more thing. It was a beautiful nature. Okay. All right. This is easily confused in English, and it is a very common question in IELTS. It was a beautiful natural area. Do not say it was a beautiful nature. That makes no sense in English. Nature refers to every living thing on the earth. So you can't talk about a specific area. Oh, that's a beautiful nature. That doesn't make sense. First of all, it's uncountable because it's enormous. It encompasses the whole world. So you can't say a nature. It's not a countable noun. And we can't talk about nature as being one small area that you can see. If you want to do that, say a natural area. Okay? That's how we have to do it in English. Very confusing, I know, because it doesn't work that way in other languages. Okay, well, all right. We're almost out of time. Maybe, I'm very sorry to David, who hasn't had a chance to do anything, and Mustafa. I'm really sorry, you guys. Hard to do this class with a lot of people. Okay, we have like 1 minute. Talis, you want to try a 1 minute version?
Okay.
Really fast. Describe a school which you went to. When you went there, how many people studied there, how long you spent there, what you liked and disliked. Okay?
I studied the most part of my life. I studied in an American school called Mackenzie. It was in Brazil, in São Paulo, and I met there the most part of my friends which I have. I mean that I have until nowadays, and they they represent a really special part the the of the people that I still in contact, and that was a really good experience. I had many good teachers, and um, it was for sure the best school I have ever studied in my life.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There's a perfect tense. Okay, good. Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's not 2 minutes, but we are out of time. Double apologies to Mustafa and David. I promise, if you come to the class tomorrow to try part 3, I will actually use you guys as my guinea pigs to show you how part 2 question transitions into part 3. Okay, so if you come, I'll give you a little extra tomorrow because I'll let you show how the transition works. I apologize. Dallas, okay. Most part of my friends, we don't normally say that. Most of my friends that I still have to this day would be a good way to say that. Okay. I met most of my friends whom I still have to this day. All right. Good job sneaking in the present perfect tense and working with the tenses, obviously. I can tell when you guys are actually thinking about making sure you hit those verb tenses. It's noticeable, and it's noticeably better. Out of time, overtime. Good job, Talis. Good job, everyone. Again, apologies, Mustafa, David. I'll try to make it up. Hope you can come to tomorrow's class, same time, where we will attack part 3.